This is your main event, Mark's Podcast. I am your host, lifelong wrestling fan, former radio guy, cat and dog dad, and just like the Hulkster at WrestleMania 1, I have the eye of the tiger. Unfortunately, it's an obese elderly tiger, but I digress. I am Troy, and joining me today will be Greg. It is an old classic review that we did of WrestleMania 1 from all the way back in 1985. Now, the show itself is historic for many reasons, but honestly, like if you're looking for like a great wrestling show with great wrestling matches, I mean, you might have come to the wrong place for that one, because WrestleMania 1 is not that. It was not that. It was honestly, it was the New York style that had been going for a while, but it was more than that. Honestly, it was really the hard launch of sports entertainment, which is what Vince McMahon pushed for years and years. WrestleMania 1 was the embodiment of sports entertainment. It was a spectacle. It was a show, and it just so happened to have wrestling on it. It had stars, it had celebrities, it had this, it had that. And obviously it would get bigger and bigger every year. Arguably, WrestleMania 2 was much worse than WrestleMania 1. That show was just plain awful all the way around. It was not something to be fondly remembered. But WrestleMania 1 had some highlights that we'll talk about. Greg and I will run down all the segments, all the matches, and everything in between. So let's dive into that right now, not waste any more time. I hope you enjoy what you're about to hear. Are you ready to cover some WrestleMania 1, bro?
I actually am.
All right. Well, it is time for WrestleMania 1, a look back. I'm very excited for this one, actually, because this is a journey that I've been wanting to take for a while down WrestleMania memory lane. You were not watching wrestling at this point, were you?
I was 1 year old when this aired.
So that's a no.
I mean, I might have been in front of the TV. I don't know. Oh, wait, no, I couldn't. It was not on TV. It was on closed circuit.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Well, for all of you out there, there was a tagline for WrestleMania 1. It was the greatest wrestling event of all time. Opinion.
All right, before we start, you told me that you watched it back and you found it to be boring.
Yeah,
now,
the first 2/3, yes.
I don't disagree with you, but I look at it from the point of, like, this is the biggest thing ever at that point. So, looking back, what was boring? Back then, it was probably entertaining as hell and the greatest thing they've ever... I mean, that's how I have to look at it, just to be fair.
Yeah, I mean, to a certain extent, you're right. But I'm also comparing it with, whatever was going on in the NWA at the time, and... I don't know, like, I felt that their in-ring...
I think it was pretty unanimous at the time NWA was better.
Yeah.
I think this was WWE's turning point.
Yeah. The in-ring product, I felt, and not to pull a Jim Cornette here, but he always, hammers this home. He's like, WWE was more successful than us, but there was no denying that our in-ring product was far superior in almost every year. And it's like...
I would argue that for the WCW being better in 1988 during the Attitude Era in-ring product.
Well, no, he was talking specifically like Jim Crockett.
No, I know. I'm just saying WWE was winning in 1998.
Oh.
I still think WCW had better matches.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, it could be argued each way.
Yeah. Well, and their problem at WCW for a while was, and Eric Bischoff admitted this, he said nobody booking or writing knew how to frickin' book a finish. Nobody.
Yep.
So he was like, that's why
I told you when I watched all those Nitros, like the first 40 had no finishes.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. How do you get away with that? Like, Kevin Sullivan is not a stupid man. How did...
Devil worshiper, but yeah, he's not stupid.
Wow. Well, he is a Boston fan.
There's nothing wrong with that. I don't care. That's your business.
Well, you know what else is his business? The fact that he had 2 world titles within 4 months brought home to him in Boston. Sorry, I just had to rub it in for some of you non-Pats fans out there.
Less than 4 months. 91 days, I believe.
Something like that, yeah. So, yeah, give or take. I saw something.
Screw the Red Sox. Excuse me.
Well, I said something to you about it, where I was like, a 4-month-old in Boston has seen more world titles than the city of Cincinnati in the past 48 years. That's pathetic. But regardless, WrestleMania took place March 31st, 1985, from Madison Square Garden, the home of WWE. Attendance was 19,121 people. I didn't think you could get that many people in
Legit
MSG.
sellout?
Say what?
I think it's a legit sellout. It's got to be, right?
Well, absolutely has to be. I didn't think that MSG was that big.
Yeah, I mean, because you got to also factor in they didn't have an entranceway and all that. Go back and look at it. They just walk right up in the crowd. So that's like a couple thousand right there. So.
Oh, yeah. Not to jump ahead, some of these venues that WrestleMania was in are ridiculous. Because I watched, I guess for basketball they can fit like 19,800 in there. So currently for pro wrestling they can only get 18,500. But anyway, not to jump ahead too much, but WrestleMania 5 when they're in the New Jersey, they didn't even have an entrance ramp. They came down steps.
Yep.
Like just almost like Shield style through the crowd. But regardless, just to cover some of the things that happened leading up to this, because there was a lot. I mean, this legit, regardless of what you think of the event, like match quality and all that other stuff, this was literally the biggest event in wrestling history. I'm getting most of this off of Wikipedia for all of you out there, and some of the match reviews, I did watch them all, and I reviewed them myself, but some of the stuff I got off of 411mania.com, so just to credit them. The lead up...
Plug.
Oh, go ahead.
Cheap plug, sorry.
Yeah, right. The attendance for the event, like I said, was 19,121. In addition, the event was seen by over 1 million viewers through closed-circuit television, making it the largest wrestling event on closed-circuit television in the United States at the time. A technical glitch ended the closed-circuit broadcast early into the showing at the Civic Arena in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, to appease angry fans who pelted the screen with garbage. Stay classy, Pittsburgh. WrestleMania was broadcast in its entirety on local ABC affiliate WTAE TV 2 weeks later. Man, it just sucks to be in Pittsburgh, doesn't it?
Where are you going with that?
Nowhere. I just saying.
Okay. All right.
I mean, first you live on the side of a mountain, your air stinks, and now, WrestleMania cuts off halfway through. Oh, man, if we had any Pittsburgh listeners, they're gone now. Anyway.
They just came off a decade with 4 Super Bowls. They can shut the hell up.
During the 1980s, Vince McMahon's World Wrestling Federation's main competition in the professional wrestling industry was from Jim Crockett Promotions. McMahon entered Jim Crockett's successful Starrcade annual events, countered his Starrcade annual events, which began airing in 1983 by creating the WrestleMania franchise, which aired 6 months later. For the first WrestleMania, Vince McMahon began cross-promoting with MTV, which aired 2 wrestling specials. The first one was The Brawl to End It All. Think about, the names of these events back in the day.
Yep, the next one's a doozer.
Oh, yeah. Well, The Brawl to End It All, which aired July 23rd, 1984, in which a match from a live Madison Square Garden broadcast was shown on MTV. Wendy Richter defeated the Fabulous Moolah to win the WWF Women's Championship on the card, with Cyndi Lauper on her side, or by her side, here you go with this one, at The War to Settle the Score, which aired February 18th, 1985. Lalani Kai, accompanied by Moolah, defeated Richter, again accompanied by Lauper, to win the Women's Championship. 3 championships were defended at WrestleMania: the WWF Women's Championship, WWF Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship, and the WWF World Tag Team Championships. It's funny to think about that the very first ever WrestleMania, the world title was not on the line.
Yeah.
I mean, we know why, but...
Still the only one, yeah.
Yeah. It's just, it's funny to think about. And the world champ was on the card. He was in the main event. He just was in a tag team match. Prior to the event, Greg Valentine had feuded with Tito Santana, or as Jesse Ventura calls him, Chico Santana, over the Intercontinental title. I like when he was accompanied to the ring by Reba McEntire that one time, and I think Bobby the Brain called her Ariba McEntire.
Yep.
So
that's Tito's sister.
Oh my god. But anyway, Valentine defeated Santana on September 24th, 1984 for the championship. Mike Rotunda and Barry Windham won the WWF Tag Team Championships 3 months before WrestleMania from the team of, this one is a doozy, Adrian Adonis and Dick Murdoch.
Hell yes!
Who puts those two together with a straight face? It's weird.
Book it, bro.
In the months leading up to the first WrestleMania, Rowdy Roddy Piper began a talk show segment on WWF television titled Piper's Pit, We all know that one. On one episode of the talk show, he hit Jimmy Snuka over the head with a coconut, leading to a feud between the two men. If that's not the most famous Piper's Pit moment, that's at least number 2.
I think it is number 2.
Yeah. What would you say number 1 is? The WrestleMania one with Morton Downey?
No, when Andre turned on Hulk.
Oh, okay. So we'd put the Morton Downey one as 3, maybe?
Off the top of my head, yes.
There's also the one where he just beats the snot out of that one jobber that got mouthy with him. Do you remember that one?
I do.
Yeah, it was...
Ray...
He beat the hell out of him.
The guy with the ugly blue trunks, I remember, right?
Yeah, and he was just like he looked like if Mario was a real person.
Wait, what do you mean, if?
Well, we found out in Mario Odyssey that he's not a real person. But that's getting too far down the rabbit hole anyway. But yeah, Piper beat him so bad he sent him down south. Next thing you know, he was jobbing in WCW. As part of the storyline, Piper recruited Bob Orton, the Bob Orton, to be his bodyguard. Why? Let me ask you this. When you're looking for a bodyguard, why would you hire a guy with a broken arm?
Because he's hardcore. I don't know.
I guess. In another episode of Piper's Pit, Piper spoke out against the burgeoning rock and wrestling connection, which led to a confrontation with Hulk Hogan, because Hulk's gotta defend it, brother. In February 1985, the two men faced each other at the War to Settle the Score. Gotta emphasize it. Where Hogan won via disqualification after the interference by Paul Orndorff and Mr. T. Their ongoing feud led to their match at WrestleMania. Here's the final thing that led up to this event. By God, I read this. I knew about it, but I read about it and it reminded me. I'm like, my God, this was a thing. As part of the promotion for the event, Hulk Hogan appeared on Hot Properties, which was apparently a talk show, 4 days prior to WrestleMania, where he put host Richard Belzer in a front facelock. Belzer then fell to and back then they were trying to keep kayfabe, so Hogan actually kind of wrenched it in. Well, Belzer fell to the floor unconscious and began to bleed profusely when his head hit the ground. And this isn't funny, it's just a ridiculous story. His injury required 8 stitches. Belzer later sued Hogan for $5 million, but they eventually settled out of court. The night before WrestleMania, Hogan and Mr. T hosted an episode of Saturday Night Live to help promote the event. Do you remember that talk show thing?
I've seen the clips.
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously you don't remember it in person. Like you said, you were 1. So, man, that's something, man. Gotta keep kayfabe, brother. I'll make this dude pass out, and then I'll drop him on his face.
So he almost killed him. Big deal. Ratings!
Get up, rub some dirt in it. Quit being a little wimp. Anyway, that finally brings us to the event, pal. You ready to get into all of this?
I think so.
All right. Well, Mean Gene Okerlund opened the event by singing the Star-Spangled Banner. The original... Yes, for the reference, it was as bad as you can imagine. It was awful.
And I love Mean Gene.
I do too.
Just sad it's gone.
Yeah.
But man, he could not sing.
He couldn't sing this. That's for damn sure.
That's true. He sang Tutti Frutti pretty good.
And look it up. Throw it into your Google machine or your YouTube. He did a version of Rock and Roll Hoochie Coo that was not terrible. So there's that. Again, not to jump ahead too much, but jumping ahead 5 years, WrestleMania 5, Jake the Snake's sister, Rockin' Robin, sang America the Beautiful, and that also sucked. So they just, I don't know. I will say, for as much as WrestleMania 2...
WrestleMania 2, they got Ray Charles. So.
Yeah. As much as I bag on WrestleMania 2, you and I justifiably both have, at least they had somebody good singing America the Beautiful to open up WrestleMania 2. But the only reason Gene did it was because the originally intended singer, a celebrity guest that Okerlund and McMahon refused to name, failed to appear. To this day, nobody knows who the hell it is that was supposed to be there.
I heard a rumor it was Phil Collins.
Yeah, let's get the Brit in here to sing the Star-Spangled Banner.
I don't know.
That's so stupid.
I forget where and when, but I heard that a long time ago.
Well,
they did use Phil Collins, one of Phil Collins' songs to open the show. Obviously edited off, but
which one?
I don't remember. I know
they used one of his. Oh, I'm thinking Peter Gabriel. They used one of his songs later on.
Oh yeah, they used that for WrestleMania 22. That's still one of my all-time favorite songs.
Big Time.
Yeah. Oh, Easy Lover.
Oh my God! They opened WrestleMania with Easy Lover.
The instrumental portion.
That's It's kind of funny.
I didn't know this. The closing theme for this event was Axel F. Oh, hell yeah.
Was what?
The theme from Beverly Hills Cop.
Oh, God.
That's an amazing 80s track. Screw you.
Yeah, I know. It was good. I love Beverly Hills Cop, but that's beside the point.
The first two. Third one can rotten hell. Okay.
I don't even remember the third one, so you're probably right.
Good.
But your hosts are Gorilla Monsoon, Jesse Ventura, and Gene Okerlund, who goes back and forth between announcing and interviewing duties. Also doing stand-ups here was Sir Alfred Hayes.
That's Lord Alfred Hayes.
Oh, you're right. Lord Alfred Hayes. My bad.
Right. Get it right.
Look, I'm gonna get this out of the way right now because it's back in 1985 and it's wrestling, so a lot of people on the show are dead. If I bury somebody that's on the show, I'm not calling them out as a person. I'm going to bury a few dead people here.
That's a good disclaimer because you're going to say that a lot.
Yes.
And I mean a lot.
Oh, yeah, exactly. For future reference.
We're talking about the show, not the person.
Exactly.
Okay, let's put that out there.
That being said, as we already mentioned, Gene Okerlund sucked while singing the Star Spangled Banner. Seemed like he rushed through it, and he even asked the crowd to join in and help him out. Well, the funniest thing about that was he had to read the lyrics.
Because they want to bury his voice out.
Well, and the funny thing was he had to read the lyrics to the Star Spangled Banner off of cue cards. Why?
It was funny. I think that's the only time they ever sang the Star Spangled Banner at WrestleMania. Vince immediately axed it.
Yep. And they asked Bruce Pritchard was asked why they go with America the Beautiful and not Star Spangled Banner, and he said Vince likes it better. That was it.
I mean, I'm for it because they do the Star Spangled Banner for everything. Why not try to be a little different?
Yeah, I didn't mind it. But continuing on with the burial of dead people, Lord Alfred Hayes.
Oh my God, that's never a good start.
Right. Well, Go ahead. I'm going to shut up because I don't want to be a part of this. Lord Alfred Hayes sucked.
Yeah.
Did you go back and watch this?
I did.
He looked...
But I don't have to watch this to know he was
He
bad.
looked so uncomfortable. He stood there with his mic, like, kind of shifting in his hand like he was nervous. His eyes kept, like, jolting off to the side like he was waiting for a cue. He was, like, very stiff and looked like he didn't know what to say or do. I'm like, act like you've been there before. Like,
if I'm right, I believe he's been legit knighted by the Queen. I
nice.
mean, what did he do when that happened? Did he piss his pants or what?
Oh, he stands up. There's just a puddle under him. Oh, my God.
I mean, I'm not knocking it. That's an amazing honor, but...
Right. My God. Oh, poor Alfred.
There's your soundbite of the week.
Dude, he was not good. I'm just gonna say, I'm sorry. He, like, every time he came on the screen, I was like, oh my God.
Angry Alfred.
Yeah.
So that's what Hulk dubbed him.
Well, he also called him Awful Alfred before. I can't remember what show that was. It might have been WrestleMania 2. He called him Awful Alfred, and I'm like, what did he do to you? Anyway,
He's British, brother. We're real American.
Right. The Executioner opens up by promising to go after Tito Santana's injured leg tonight. So, there's that. The opening match is...
Horrible promo. Go off that leg. Here we go.
It was work the leg. Another thing about commentary here, Gorilla Monsoon, like his real name that he went by, his nickname was Gino. Gino, whatever his last name was. And the thing was, Bruce Pritchard talked about this, where Jesse Ventura all night never once called him Gorilla. He kept calling him Gino all night. Did you notice that?
Maybe.
Other people did too. So go back if every time, because I don't know if they told him to stop, because if you listen later on, he always calls him Gorilla. But here, he always Gino and Gino Monsoon.
It's Gorilla.
So I don't know. And then because Bruce Pritchard talked about, he was like, if you're sitting at home, you're going, who the hell is Gino? But
well, it could have easily been passed off as he's talking to Gene Okerlund. I don't.
Well, I mean, during commentary,
pulling that stuff here.
And I think Alfred Hayes called him Gino at one point, and I'm like, what the hell? Kayfabe. Either way, the opening match is Tito Santana versus the Executioner. The Executioner is Buddy Rose under a generic mask.
Playboy Buddy Rose.
Yep. Why is this a thing, by the way?
I don't know.
They sure love to put people under masks.
The next, I believe the next Executioner was Terry Bam Bam Gordy, I believe.
Yes, you're right. They just love putting people under masks and having them job out at Mania back in the day. Despite his bluster and Tino's bad leg from an attack by Greg Valentine, Executioner doesn't put up much of a fight. Tito tries to wrestle early, but Executioner stays true to his word and attacks Tito's leg to counter. Executioner goes after the leg, but Tito shoves him all the way over the top rope. The flying forearm and figure four finish off this historic first match at 4 minutes, 47 seconds.
It's a flying jalapeno. That's what Bobby Heenan called it.
Of course he freaking did.
How did he not get flagged for racism?
Because back in the day it was fine. Dude, he was hella sexist in WCW, but, that flew.
Yeah, it's true.
In 1995, might I add. And not to be outdone, Mr. Perfect was like, hold my beer, I can be worse. But, this match was not good. Just pointing that out. And what was the deal with everybody using a figure four back in the day?
Because everybody wanted to be like the great one.
I guess. You're talking about Buddy Rogers, right?
Clearly.
All right, first WWF champion. All right, this next thing. S.T. Jones gives a longer interview than his match will be. King Kong Bundy then offers his rebuttal. The weird thing about
I want to point out something real quick.
Yeah.
I don't know if you clearly noticed. I mean, they do an interview with one guy. He walks off. The next guy's clearly standing right there waiting to walk in.
I was just about to say that. It's like, what the hell? You couldn't even do a jump cut? Like, why? This just makes these guys look like idiots because they're talking to the person who just walked away, but they're talking into the camera. Why?
That's so stupid.
Yes, this was the worst.
Okay, I remember real quick. I remember when I was 5 or 6 watching Saturday Night's Main Event, and they used to do that. And as a kid, I'd be asking myself, how come they didn't fight just right then and there?
I know.
I would legit ask myself this as a kid.
Yeah, it's stupid. Little kids can figure this out. Why couldn't they? Dumb. Regardless, I don't know. For the reference, I mean, I don't know why, but
fighting, they're entertaining, pal.
Oh yeah, entertaining somebody. But when King Kong Bundy was like standing there and they like did a close up, like that dude was humongous. Like he was huge and just wide as a house. Huge.
Big league body.
Wow. And he was white as an egg with no eyebrows.
And he had an egg for a head.
He did. By the way...
Still does. He looks actually pretty good now. I don't know if you say looks... I mean, he's still large, but not like obese. He looks pretty good.
Yeah, well, he also has... Last I saw him, he had a gigantic fupa, so... I don't know. Here, think about this. 1 year later, he'd be in the main event against Hulk Hogan with Bobby the Brain as his manager. Here, he had Jimmy Hart as his manager, and he's in a throwaway match.
What do you mean throwaway? He was facing S.D. Jones.
Oh, yeah. It was King Kong Bundy with Jimmy Hart versus SD Special Delivery Jones.
Oh, my God. Where were you going with that?
I don't know.
I'm leaving that alone.
Yeah, not going there. I will say this. Special Delivery Jones looked like a legit mailman. Like, he just looked like a guy off the streets. So, Bundy was actually recruited by Hulk.
Burial of a deceased person.
Is he dead too?
Yeah, he is, unfortunately.
Okay, well, either way, I covered my bases earlier. Leave me alone.
I know.
I did not know this. Bundy was actually Bundy was recruited by Hulk Hogan after the two met in Minnesota while Bundy was working for New Japan. I did not know that. He catches Jones in a bear hug, runs him into the corner, and finishes with an avalanche at 23 seconds, which the WWF tried to sell as a record 9 seconds.
Yeah, I don't know how the hell that was even 9 seconds.
It was not. There was no...
I don't know where they got that from.
Gorilla Monsoon. Again, I love Gorilla. For the record, I'm a huge Gorilla Monsoon fan. I loved his commentary. I think he's one of the best. But my God, that dude, when he was talking like numbers, was like the worst liar in the history of professional wrestling. He just blurts out 9 seconds, and I'm looking at my clock, and I'm like, no.
I got a audio clip of him and Jesse Ventura talking about Honky Tonk Man and Tito Santana being a main event anywhere in the country.
Yes, I remember you sending me that. So full of it. Come on, Gino. Come on, Gino Monsoon. Matt Bourne is in the back. He promises to beat... Yes. Sorry. He promises to beat Ricky Steamboat because Ricky is, quote, too nice. Steamboat's initial gimmick was apparently that He was a total ass kicker with the martial arts, but he didn't want to use his skills unless he was provoked. Since there's no money in peace, the heels would always find a way to provoke him. So there you go. For the reference, Steamboat looked nothing like what I remember him as at this point. He was wearing
if I remember right, he was jacked as hell.
Oh, yeah, he was, like, jacked to the freaking guilt. He walks in, and I'm like, who blew up Steamboat?
Right?
I'm like, holy mother of God. He was gigantic. And then, on top of that, he wore just plain white trunks, plain white knee pads, and plain white boots. And I'm like, okay.
I don't even think he was the Dragon at this point.
No, he was just Ricky Steamboat. So, I don't know. And he was not the Steamboat that we came to know and love later on in life. Either way, Steamboat took on Bourne. Steamboat just entered the WWF after walking out on the NWA, allegedly due to hitting the glass ceiling of Dusty Rhodes' booking. Oh, that's for somebody else, baby. We're going to leave you right where you at. Bourne doesn't do much of note.
He would get his later, though. Don't worry.
Yeah, oh yeah, he explodes later. But Bourne doesn't do anything of note. But he does make a great sparring partner for Ricky's offense. They work in a sequence where Ricky keeps backflipping out of backdrop suplex attempts. They exchange blows with Ricky getting the best of the battle thanks to the chop. The chop! Bourne tries a backdrop, but Ricky hops over him and delivers a double forearm thrust. That's enough to stagger Bourne long enough for Ricky to hit the flying crossbody at 4 minutes and 37 seconds. Although the opener was a little longer, this one actually seemed far more balanced. And as you mentioned, Matt Bourne would go on later in life to be, well, first he would be Big Josh in WCW.
I remember that. Oh, he was a construction worker, I believe.
No, he was a lumberjack, I think.
Oh, that's close enough.
Yeah,
he wore the flannel and the...
Yep, and the hat, like the wool cap, and he'd come to the ring with like an axe handle for some reason. And then one time, he walked 2 bears to the ring on chains.
Yeah.
That was, he walks to the ring with chains, pulling 2 bears along. And then once he gets to the ring, they take the bears to the back because bears can't be at ringside.
But snakes and birds and bulldogs can.
Well, exactly. Yeah. Well, they're not working bears, Greg.
Where'd they get those at, by the way?
Well, probably Bears R Us, but I could be wrong. Gimmick infringement, pal.
We draw.
But that's not right. But that's not what Bourne is known for. He's the original Doink the Clown, later to be replaced by multiple people: Ray Apollo, the Brooklyn Brawler, Eugene. So there's that. All right, then there's this.
He didn't say Chris Jericho. He was at one point.
Was he?
For a minute.
Oh, God.
Like, literally a minute. But yeah.
Nice. Brutus Beefcake. Brutus the effin' Barber Beefcake. Even though he was not... Yeah, he was not a barber at the time. He was just...
2 more years.
Brutus Beefcake. Yep. He was with Johnny Valiant, his manager in the back. In the pre-match interviews, Johnny Valiant does all the talking for Brutus Beefcake. All Beefcake does is raspberry the mic. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Because Valiant does all the talking, and then he's like, go ahead, Beefcake. And then Valiant stands right in front of the camera, and Beefcake leans into the mic and goes, I was like, what the F? But it was something. Apparently, Linda McMahon was the one who named him Brutus Beefcake, because she said he looked like a male stripper.
Okay.
So there's that. And originally...
They call Vince a pervert.
Yeah. Well, I guess they came up with the name Brutus, and then she came up with Beefcake. And they gave him, like, a male stripper gimmick. And apparently, Ed Leslie, the guy's real name, for those of you that don't know, thought it was a rib on him, and he got pissed and threatened to quit. And Hulk Hogan had to talk him into staying.
What a loss that would have been.
Well, because Ed Leslie can do so much better elsewhere. He also apparently thought the barber gimmick was a rib and thought about quitting when he got that, too.
Look, I know people crap on it. I'll argue all day. I was a fan of his when I was a kid.
Yeah, I mean, I thought he was entertaining, especially as a kid. And I don't think he was a bad worker for reference. I mean, he was what he was. If you're expecting a 5-star match, yeah, you're going to be severely let down. But he was a competent worker. But anyway, he took on David Sammartino, son of Bruno. This...
Man, sorry, I gotta say it though. Nepotism runs wild.
He was shorter than Bruno. I don't know exactly how tall he was. Maybe 6'1", maybe. And he was large.
Can I just say, when I first saw him, I thought it was B. Brian Blair.
He kind of looked like him.
Was it Jumpin' Jim? One of the B's.
Right, yeah, one of them.
I think it was Brian Blair. I'm pretty sure it was. That's who I thought it was.
Yeah, he looked swelled up. Like, he was slightly muscular, but he was also fat. And he was short. So, I don't know. He looked roly-poly. That's all I got to say. He was doughy. I'll put it that way.
And his dad was like a Greek god.
Yeah, right? Well, his dad was the only one that got a reaction out of the two going to ring. But both of these guys sucked something fierce, with Beefer being only slightly more entertaining due to his gimmick. That, from 411 Mania, I didn't think the Beefcake sucked. David was okay. Nothing to write home about. This is a long and boring match. The amount of time it gets is inexcusable, considering how short the Tito and Steamboat matches were.
Again, I gotta go back to nepotism. I'm sorry. I have to.
Oh, yeah. Well, wait for the finish here. Unable to finish David off, Brutus gets desperate and tosses him to the floor, which in WWF was not a disqualification, but it was in NWA. Valiant takes a cheap shot, body slamming him, so Bruno chases after Valiant, and that leads to the ill-tempered referee disqualifying both guys at 11 minutes and 44 seconds.
So that entire match went that long for a double DQ.
Yep, a non-finish. Woo! And they said, 411 Mania said, not to sound repetitious, but why give these two that much time to lead to that finish while your good wrestlers are forced to rush?
Yeah.
That's something. All right, well, we do a stand-up with Lord Alfred Hayes and Greg Valentine. Like, you can see the next match, wrestlers walk into the ring behind him.
I thought
always.
That was so stupid.
Yeah, I know. That was really dumb. When Greg Valentine walked to the ring, all you can see is the back of him. I swear to God, I thought it was Ric Flair.
Well, that was the point.
Like,
I think.
he had the robe, the same hair, everything. Furthering on with that, in the interview he did backstage, he had the feathered blonde hair, gigantic sunglasses that they wore back in the 80s, like Rick always used to wear. And he talked about being the master of the figure 4 leg lock. There you go. No. He didn't want to be Ric Flair.
Who would?
Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery, though, so there's that. The Intercontinental title was on the line in this next match, Greg. It was Greg Valentine with Jimmy Hart taking on the Junkyard Dog. Like a lot of wrestlers on the
when I was a kid.
Say what?
That was one of my guys.
Oh, yeah. I have figures of both of the... actually, all three of these guys, including the manager.
Of course you do.
Yeah,
and
they're all
them?
Jack's figures.
There it is.
Yeah, so... But no, I really do. Like a lot of wrestlers on the show, JYD had to come over after being a huge star in Mid-South. It was clear that Dog's Another One Bites the Dust by Queen was dubbed over by Grab Them Cakes.
A better song.
Oh, well, absolutely. That was Grab Them Cakes. Like, what the hell? For those of you that don't
like
know...
an innuendo, but...
For those of you that don't know, Grab Them Cakes, throw it in your Google machine. Valentine tries to work the leg in anticipation for the figure 4, but JYD uses his wide variety of headbutts and soup bones. Valentine accidentally knocks Jimmy Hart off the apron, and Jimmy took a freaking header. Valentine improvises by scooping up Dog's legs and putting his own feet on the ropes for a cheap pin at 5 minutes 59 seconds. Valentine's nemesis, however, Tito Santana, runs down and explains what happened, so the ref takes him at his word, and he just restarts the match. Okay.
Oh.
Well, I'll just finish this and get into what I have to say. Valentine refuses to get back in the ring and takes a count-out loss to retain the title. There you go. When before or after this has a referee ever just said, you know what? You're a trustworthy fella. Restart the match.
Well, he's a good guy.
Oh,
he's
well, yeah. Wow. I was like blown away by the finish of this. And again, 5 minutes, 59 seconds. Why? Yet
Wait,
David
I'm sorry,
Sammartino.
Too long, or?
Yeah, well, then David Sammartino got almost 12 minutes with Brutus Beefcake. There's no justice in this world, Greg.
Yeah.
Next match, or next thing, the U.S. Express is being interviewed backstage. The U.S. Express is Barry Windham and Mike Rotundo. Captain Lou Albano is...
I don't know if you know, but Real American was really made for them.
Is that what they came out to?
No, but the song was made for them.
No, well, it went to the better guy. And it got more mileage.
I'd say so.
Well, Kurt Angle's theme song was made for The Patriot.
It's true. Actually, I think, yeah, it was him. And then Sergeant Slaughter used it for a minute.
Which is weird to think about, but regardless. Their manager is Captain Lou Albano, who I have a Jax figure of.
Of course.
Yeah, there you go. During this interview, he's holding a Miller Lite. Just,
plug, bro!
He's just sitting there with a can of beer in his hand while he's doing this interview. I'm like, living the gimmick, pal?
Well, at that point, you ask yourself, is it a gimmick?
Apparently not. Bruce Pritchard actually said that Captain Lou would come bug him in the back and just bug the crap out of him until he was like, hey, he's like, because Vince would want him out of his hair. And he's like, go see Bruce. Bruce has something for you. And then he'd go bug Bruce, and Bruce is like, damn it, dude. And he said finally Vince stopped doing that after he was like, hey, after this next match, go bug Vince on commentary. Just mess with him for a while. So he did that, and after that, Vince was like, damn it. And he never sent Lou back to Bruce ever again. That's pretty bad when multiple people are trying to get rid of him. Either way, this next match is for the WWF Tag Team titles. It is the U.S. Express with Captain Lou Albano taking on the Iron Sheik, Bubba. The Sheiky baby, and Nikolai Volkov. They have Freddie Blassie in their corner. The Express is the future Four Horsemen, Barry Windham, and the future IRS, Mike Rotundo.
BK Wall Street.
Are they stepbrothers, or what's their relationship? I forget.
I don't know.
I know they're related. I can't remember if they're stepbrothers or cousin, but they are related. And they're both, I think they are stepbrothers because I'm pretty sure they're both the sons of Blackjack Mulligan. So, which is Bray Wyatt is the grandson of Blackjack Mulligan. There you go. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. I'm not sure what theme song the Express came out to, but it was dubbed over by some easy listening rock music.
I believe it's Girls in Cars, right?
Really?
I think so.
God, why?
Don't know.
You know what, guys? You look like, you look like two strapping young American men. We're gonna have you come out to Girls in Cars.
I think that's what it was.
No, that was Strike Force came out to that.
Oh, okay. I was close enough.
Okay, well,
still, why would anyone come out to that?
Why not? It's by Robbie Dupree. They came out to Born in the USA. There you go. Oh, that makes more sense. I had to Google it because I'm like, what the hell did they come out to? Did they come out to something so stupid as that? But no, they came out to Born in the USA, which explains the easy listening saxophone music.
I went back and watched this. It's just funny looking back at someone being billed from the USSR.
Right? Yeah, I know. Because nowadays we're like, what is the USSR?
Right?
But despite the fact that he was a former champion, make no mistake about it, Iron Sheik was not much more than a glorified mid-carder at best right here.
And he, like less than a year earlier, maybe a little more than a year, he was the WWE champion.
Yeah, I know. The crowd litters the ring with trash to start this match. Sheik shoulder blocks Rotundo and tries again to gets hip tossed. Sheik hooks the tights and a lot to draw some heat from the audience. So, playing the heel. Rotundo plays the babyface in peril and takes a long abdominal stretch from the Sheik. He actually hip tosses out, and that's a hot tag to Windham. Barry destroys every foreigner in sight, and he hits the bulldog on Nikolai. Sheik makes a save, so Rotundo socks him in the face. The referee gets distracted trying to put Rotundo out, so Sheik grabs Freddie Blassie's cane and nails Windham with it, knocking him spark the F out. And Volkov pins him to win the titles at the 5-minute mark.
I believe that's the first title change in WrestleMania history.
It was, yes. And it was only 5 minutes long. And again, David Sammartino and Brutus Beefcake got almost 12 minutes. Never forget. Mean Gene Okerlund interviews Freddie Blassie and his team after the match. Okerlund asked Blassie where his cane is, and Blassie said he never had a cane. He was great. The Iron Sheik says that he did this for the Iranians, Russians, and Arabs in New York, America, Haktui. By the way, I do not have a Freddie Blassie figure. A little sad.
Well, then you fail as a collector.
But I do have an Iron Sheik and Nikolai Volkov Jax versions. So there's that. I do not have a Mike Rotundo or an IRS, but I do have a Barry Windham. That one is actually Mattel. You were with me when I bought it, actually, in New York.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because I got the Four Horsemen.
SummerSlam.
Yeah, I got the Four Horsemen 4-pack. Big John Studd is interviewed backstage and says that the duffel bag full of money is heavy. Yeah, okay. Do you remember when $15,000 seemed like just an ass load of money?
Yep.
I mean, it's still a hefty...
Nowadays in California, they'll pay your rent for 2 months.
I believe it. I mean, it's not that that's not a good chunk of change, but who decided on the random number of 15 grand, by the way?
I think, if I remember correctly, someone said it just rolled off the tongue better. The $15,000 body snatch. I don't know. That's the excuse I heard.
It's just so random. Like 15 grand. Sure, why not? Whatever. He had a WWF duffel bag full of crumpled up ones. Either way, $15,000 body slam match, baby. It's Andre the Giant versus Big John Studd with Bobby the Brain Heenan. It's the Colossal Tussle. Oh, yeah.
The Colostomy Clinic.
What?
Sorry, I had to say that. You don't remember that?
No. Good grief.
They're called the Colossal Connection. It was him and Haku, and me and Gene called him the Colostomy Connection.
Oh, my gosh. That's awful. Studd and Bundy have been terrorizing Andre for months leading up to this. If Andre can slam Studd, he wins the 15 grand, but if not, he has to retire. Studd jumps him at the bell and lays into him with some forearms. Andre comes back with chops and a headbutt. Studd falls to the outside. Back in, Andre starts choking him. Studd makes a mistake of going for a body slam. Andre leans into him with a bear hug that goes on for quite a while. Andre drops that and beats him around the ring for quite a while. Studd tries to counter a backdrop with a kick, but Andre grabs the leg and then side kicks him multiple times. And then he picks him up and body slams him for the win at the 5 minutes and 56-second mark. Andre then grabs the money and starts chucking handfuls of it out to the crowd. Heenan rushes in, grabs it, and runs away. Apparently, that was legit money, and Andre was only supposed to take a handful, throw it to the crowd. He went into business for himself and threw multiple handfuls into the crowd, which is why Bobby Heenan went, oh crap, ran in and grabbed it. So, there's that. Are you ready for this next one, Greg? Well...
Yes. Wait, no. I don't even know what the next one is.
Okay, well, on the way to the ring, the Fabulous Moolah and Leilani Kai kiss Sir Alfred Hayes. They kiss him, literally leave lipstick marks on him, and he goes, goodness gracious! Cyndi Lauper says that she was trained by the manager, or trained to be a manager, by Captain Lou Albano. Because I'll tell you what, you want some good training, get the drunk guy with rubber bands stuck to his face. Bless her little heart. Was it just me, or was Cyndi Lauper just an annoying personality?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah. And she's not dead, so I can bury her and not feel guilt. But this next match, for the Women's Championship, it was Leilani Kai with the Fabulous Moolah in her corner, defending against Wendy Richter with Cyndi Lauper in her corner. I'm not sure where Wendy Richter came from, but she was hardcore Southern.
She likes to wrestle.
Oh, yeah. Come here, boy. Want to wrestle? I'm going to make you squeal like a pig.
Gee, I wonder if Sarah Logan idolized her.
Oh, my gosh. You remember those stupid vignettes in NXT where she was like, I used to wrestle with a goat back on the farm?
Yep.
I was like, you used to be Crazy Mary Dobson and come out to Living Dead Girl by Rob Zombie. What the hell? Richter used to be a member of the Texas Cowgirls along with Joyce Grable, which is a more interesting story than this match. Pretty sure that Wendy and Cyndi came out to Girls Just Want to Have Fun, right?
They did, yeah.
Okay. But this was dubbed over by some weird 80s production music. all the music on the show was very, like, they stuck to the 80s. You can tell. It's like, yeah, I could hear this playing in, like, a restaurant in the 80s. I realize that this is technically, quote, the death spot before the main event, but it's crazy that the women's title match is the next to main for the very first ever WrestleMania. Am I right?
Yeah, but that's how it should be, right?
Yeah, but it's just crazy to think about. It's like, oh, the women are like the second to last match. That's all right. At the very first ever Mania in '85. For the record, some of these opinions were not the expressed opinions by your host. They are from 411 Mania, so just throwing that out there. So, to try to avert some heat. Richter keeps flinging Kai around in a hammerlock, and Kai keeps tapping out, but the referee won't stop the match. Like, seriously, go back and watch this. Like, Leilani Kai is just tapping out throughout this whole sequence, and they don't stop the match. I'm really confused. Moolah takes a cheap shot at Richter, prompting Lopper to get involved. Kai comes off the top with a crossbody, but Wendy rolls through for the pin at 6 minutes and 13 seconds. New champ! The crowd supposedly blows for this, but I'm not sure if they sweetened it in post-production or not.
I never heard that part, actually.
Yeah, 'cause I don't know. I mean, nobody ever talks about it, but seriously, like, if you're watching it on the network, it sounds like the crowd just, like, blows the roof off the place for this. I don't know. Maybe Cyndi Lauper was over in New York. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, kind of.
And they had that famous spot that they always show in, like, the classic WrestleMania clips where she's, like, holding hands with Wendy Richter, and they're, like, doing some, like, they're, like, spinning around in the ring in a circle and dancing with the belt and whatever. This was a bit sloppy, but not a terrible match. I'll say that. In a post-match interview, Cyndi Lauper has lipstick all over her teeth. Because I'm sitting there looking, I'm like, does she have, I'm like, what's wrong with her face? And I'm like, she has lipstick all across her teeth, like bright red lipstick. I wonder if she ever went back and was like, oh my God.
I'm sure everyone does, like, not her, just her, but...
Right. Well, I say that about a lot of things, especially with this event. No, I'm kidding.
Wow.
Up next is the main event, ladies and gents. Baseball great, former Yankees second baseman and baseball manager Billy Martin is the guest ring announcer. You're a baseball guy. Do you know this dude?
You don't know who Billy Martin is.
I'm not a baseball guy. I know nothing.
He was hired and fired by the Yankees like 6 times.
Wow.
He used to coach the Oakland A's.
So was he trying to was he trying to compete with Marty Jannetty?
I guess so.
Oh,
I think they brought him back a bunch of times. Yeah, he's one of the most famous managers.
Well, if we all know, if we all learn something from baseball, it's as long as you don't say anything racist, you're fine. And even then, you still might be fine. Liberace is your guest timekeeper. He comes out with the Rockettes, and they do some kick dancing in the ring. Liberace has a shiny silver bell that he rings. You know what?
Ring my bell. Oh, sorry.
What the hell? I was going to say, there's a lot that I could say about this, but I'm going to leave it alone. The only thing I'm going to say is the famous Bugs Bunny line of, I wish my brother George could be here. Muhammad Ali is the special outside referee. Pat Patterson is the inside referee. They never explain why. He just is. Roddy Piper comes...
Because he's got to be when it's a celebrity wrestling. That's the rule.
I guess. Roddy Piper comes out with a full band playing drums and bagpipes. They get pelted with garbage. I felt bad for the bagpipers. This was back when it was okay to just throw garbage into the ring. The heels also get pelted, by the way. Hulk Hogan, for those of you that don't know, I believe he came out to Eye of the Tiger here, right?
Yeah, he did.
Okay. Well, it's dubbed over by Real American, which I knew that was coming. So I was already like set, and I'm like, I think they dubbed this over here, and I'm like, yes. It is Hulk Hogan and Mr. T with Jimmy Snuka in their corner. They're taking on Roddy Piper and Paul Orndorff with Bob Orton in their corner. Piper and Mr. T start with each other. Gorilla Monsoon claims that Hogan's been giving Mr. T some wrestling knowledge, and Mr. T gave Hogan some street sense.
And he probably taught him how to love his mother.
Well, of course. But there's a 4-way brawl. Orton tries to interfere, and Muhammad Ali just clears the ring. He didn't actually hit anybody. He just got in, and everybody just bailed.
Well, who the hell would sign up for a hit from Muhammad Ali?
Apparently Antonio Inoki. Piper says that he's done, and he goes to leave. Hogan will not let Pat Patterson count him out, though. The babyfaces take control, and they eventually get back in the ring. Babyfaces take control. Hogan and Mr. T clean house. Piper and then Hogan get dumped out, and then Piper uses a chair, but there's not a disqualification. Don't know why. The heels get the get the heat on the Hulkster, which was crazy to me. Mr. T plays the impatient Robert Gibson role, always trying to make the save and just making things worse. Orndorff finally misses a flying knee drop, allowing Hogan to tag out. Mr. T doesn't do much of note, but he has a brief mat sequence with Orndorff, which allows Hogan to catch his breath. Hogan tags back in before Mr. T gets exposed. Orton tries to get involved again, but Jimmy Snuka stops him. Mr. T blocks a Piper swing, and they brawl while Orndorff and Orton try to gang up on Hogan. Hogan moves out of the way of a flying cast shot off the top rope, and Orton takes out Mr. Wonderful. Hogan then falls on top as referee Pat Patterson makes the 3 count. Hogan and Mr. T pick up the win in the historic main event, 13 minutes, 37 seconds, which by today's standards is a very short match for a Mania main event.
Weren't they all?
Yep, basically. Piper knocks Patterson down and leaves. He leaves Orndorff in the ring just to fend for himself. Hogan and Mr. T then help Orndorff up. The history, the hype, the importance, and the great characterizations are the big reasons to see this match. The match itself was kind of blah, but it is what it is.
Brother.
By the way, the entire concept of this match and the show in general was the idea of Dr. D. David Schultz, who pitched the idea of Hogan and Mr. T against Piper and him. Of course, Schultz got in a bit of trouble for cuffing reporter John Stossel, so he was replaced by Orndorff. Schultz would be gone a few months later, and Vince would be called a creative genius for coming up with a show like this. So there you go. As an aside, Gorilla Monsoon made reference to Pearl Harbor about 20 times on this show.
Yeah, total Pearl Harbor job.
Yeah, he tried to Pearl Harbor him. Oh, he just Pearl Harbored him. Oh, and he goes for the Pearl Harbor. I'm like, what the hell? Quit it.
I'm sure he didn't offend any Japanese people.
Oh, not at all. Yeah, well, Greg, them damn Japanese, they were evil. All right? Back in 1985, we sure as hell hated them Japs. Oh, my God. This was a little hard to listen to. I told a buddy of mine that, and his eyes got really wide, like, what? They closed the show with an interview with the babyfaces backstage. T also seems to have his family with him. I'm sure his mama was front and center. They actually have closing credits to this show, by the way.
Yeah, I told you it was with that theme song from Beverly Hills Cop.
Yeah. Well, it shocked me because, they always said, Vince didn't do credits because he didn't he hated credits. That was a WCW thing. So it was just weird to see. All right, well, that's the event. Let's, you want to hear some of the reception from the show here, Greg?
It sucked.
Wow. No. Well, John Powell of Slam Wrestling rated the event as average, citing that it wasn't the greatest. Despite his overall rating, he praised several moments, including Orton hitting Orndorff with his cast, King Kong Bundy's win, and Andre the Giant throwing the money into the crowd. Powell, however, listed Mr. T wrestling as his least favorite moment of the pay-per-view. Really? That when you had that... I know I've beaten this dead horse a few times here, but when you had David Sammartino versus Brutus Beefcake, Mr. T...
May have been anywhere in the country.
Oh, well, yeah. This was your least favorite. Okay, whatever. He claimed that the main event match in which Mr. T took part was humorous despite its lack of technical wrestling. In contrast, Pro Wrestling Illustrated... Alright, just to say this now, Pro Wrestling Illustrated has the biggest, big league hard-on for Vince McMahon and the WWE. While you have Dave Meltzer, Uncle Dave, with his hard-on for New Japan and everything not called WWE, that's the reverse of Pro Wrestling Illustrated. But either way, PWI awarded the main event match its annual PWI Match of the Year honor. I'm gonna let that sit and marinate for a second. Think about that, Greg.
Well, it's not a big bar.
Okay, but you're telling me there wasn't anything better in 1985 than this?
No. Hell no.
Rhodes and Flair. No?
No.
I guess not.
Mr. T.
The way you put that. The event was also included in a July 2007 special that aired on the MSG network called The 50 Greatest Moments at Madison Square Garden, ranking at number 30. In the December 2002 issue of Wrestling Digest, the main event matchup was listed as number 5 in the most memorable 25 matches of the past 25 years. Echoing John Powell's thoughts, Kevin Eck of Wrestling Digest stated, "The match itself was far from a technical wrestling classic, but it delivered in terms of entertaining the crowd." In another Wrestling Digest article written by Keith Loria, whatever. The main event was ranked 3rd in the top 10 matches in WrestleMania history. My God. In contrast to Powell, Loria believed that Mr. T, quote, proved to be an adequate grappler. Proved to be an adequate grappler, Greg.
I'm trying to think of a good joke here. I can think of a couple with grapple.
He proved to be an adequate crappler. I'll say that.
But did his mom like it?
Oh, I'm sure Mama T loved it. Love your mother every day. On WrestleMania Day. On the day after WrestleMania Day. I'm a dick.
That was creepy when he did that, though.
The whole thing was weird. What?
That was WrestleMania 30, right? In New Orleans?
I'm not sure.
I think it was.
I'm gonna say yes.
Yeah, I think it was. Damn, that means you and I almost went to that.
And we dodged a bullet. My God. Now I gotta go through it into my Google machine. WWE Hall of Fame. Oh my gosh, the first thing that pops up is his speech. Okay, 2014. What year was what Mania was that?
Yeah, that was 30.
Oh my God.
What's to that?
Can you imagine being stuck there for that?
Oh, we were for Hillbilly Jim.
I know. It's like we dodged Mr. T, but we got Hillbilly Jim. I called my mama back in backwoods Kentucky, and I said, "Baby, we made it." That was creepy as hell that he called his mom baby.
No, he called her honey.
Oh, honey. Excuse me. Yes.
It's even weirder.
Yeah, that might be. What the hell is it with these long-ass, weird Hall of Fame speeches about mothers? Well, I'm just a simple Kentucky boy. Like, we know! God dang, get off the stage.
With that accent, you don't say.
Your name is Hillbilly Jim. Who, by the way, I have a Jax figure of.
Oh, freaking course you do.
Oh, man. All right, well, for those of you, and I don't know who you are, but I'm sure there's somebody who wants a long-form review of WrestleMania 2. Spoiler, it sucked. Well, you know who was on that card as well, Greg? Brutus, the effing barber, a beefcake.
I thought you were going to say Mr. T again.
Oh, God, he is. Poor Piper. It's awful. It's awful.
God, his back must have hurt in the 80s, man.
All that carrying. Golly. Well, according to some, Roddy Piper always said, "Oh, I don't do jobs. I don't lay my shoulders down for anybody because that's how I make my living." Like, well, if there's one person you should have done a job to, it's definitely Mr. T.
I'm pretty sure the good money comes from laying on your back, jobbing out. I don't know.
Well, I don't know. I'll consult the Brooklyn Brawler on that one. Anyway, for reference, the buy rates, I marked them down for various WrestleManias. Or for every WrestleMania. The buy rate for WrestleMania 1, keep in mind, it was closed circuit. It was not, on pay-per-view. 398,000, supposedly, got this on closed circuit television. Or theater, not television. You know what I mean.
Looking back at it, why didn't they have it on MTV?
I think they just wanted to do closed circuit because that makes it bigger. If it's on cable, then it's kind of like the Clash of the Champions,
Yeah.
I don't know. That's the only thing I can think. That equaled out, by the way, to 1.10 if you're going to, go by that. But almost 400,000 people watched this on closed circuit. Think about this. More people saw that in closed circuit than they saw WrestleMania 2 on pay-per-view the next year. That's insane.
Well, to be fair, cable wasn't as big yet, so not a lot of people had cable. So.
Right. That's it. That's the show. I hope you all enjoyed it. We have done multiple WrestleMania reviews in the past. Looking through our archives right now. Man, I'm trying to go all the way back here. WrestleMania 21, WrestleMania 17, or X7, however you want to say it. WrestleMania 8, the Macho Flair Affair. We've done a review of that. We've done WrestleMania 34, WrestleMania 19, WrestleMania 9. Some of them we did them specifically because they were bad, and we had fun with them. WrestleMania 24, WrestleMania X8, WrestleMania 3 was another one. We didn't full-on review WrestleMania 35, but we talked about it. Same with WrestleMania 37 and the debacle with that. I've done top 10 worst WrestleManias ever, top 15 WrestleMania moments, top 10 matches and moments of WrestleMania 41, where I run down, top 10 from that year's WrestleMania. So there's a lot of WrestleMania content now in the archives. If you go on YouTube specifically, I think most of it is on Rumble, but not all of it. Some of it did not get ported over yet, and I don't know what is what. But you can go to youtube.com/marksonmedia, and there you'll find the playlist of all of the main event Marks material. Tons in there, and like I said, more to come. And next week is going to be WrestleMania 15. We're going 14 years in the future from this show right here to cover WrestleMania 15, because for some reason, that show is remembered fondly, even though, in my opinion, that show was booty. Not a good show at all. We'll talk about why. The lack of singles matches on the card, the women's match, quote-unquote, if you want to call it a match, on that card, everything. And it was the worst of the trilogy of Austin and Rock. The absolute worst. But, it had some good stuff on the show, and it was the embodiment of the Attitude Era. I'll say that. It was the epitome of Attitude Era WrestleMania. So if you want to go, check that out. I think the Undertaker Boss Man Hell in a Cell match was on that card as well. So if you want to check that out, that is coming next week, WrestleMania 15. So stay tuned for that. Thank you all for joining. We will see you next week. Later.